hello everyone. Wow, what's happening on that canvas, huh? Let's delve into texture a little bit. There's a whole bunch of pastes out there. But you know what we're going to start with? We're going to start with collage. Yeah, I think that's a good way to go. We're going to collage our way to glory. That's right. You know, there are so many ways that you can collage. You can cut up old magazines, newspapers, or even embarrassing yearbook photos that you thought you'd lost. Stick them onto your canvas and voila. Now there's more going on than just an average landscape. Plus, you get to relive those painful high school memories while you paint. Well, in this case, I'm going to use book pages because I just think that's more appropriate for the subject matter that I'm going to be painting. Besides, I think my yearbooks all went into the burn pile a long time ago, after I dyed my hair, changed my name, and moved away. The 90s were rough, okay? Alright, so let's really get into what this is all about. Why would you want to add texture to a painting? This is the question, right? Well, okay. So when it comes to painting, we artists often focus on color, composition, and subject matter. However, one of the most powerful tools at an artist's disposal is texture. The strategic use of texture can transform a flat surface into a dynamic and engaging piece of art, creating a sense of depth and intrigue that captivates viewers. How was that? That was pretty good, right? Okay. So yeah, it's not just about rough or smooth, or, you know, something like that. It's more about what you can create with depth and dimension. And the thing that's really cool is that the surface quality can be actual or it can be implied. Actual texture can be felt by touch. It can be created through layering paint using different materials. You could use gravel, you could use sand, you can use all kinds of things that you mix with a variety of pastes, those like natural elements, depending on what you're painting, and it can kind of bring your message forward even more. And you can layer like a pro. You ever build a sandwich? It's kind of the same concept. Layering different materials, it creates kind of like this feast for the eyes. And just like building a sandwich, you can use kitchen utensils in order to get different designs and effects in your texture, which is kind of cool. Spatulas and forks, spoodle, if you know what that is. So what I'm doing on this canvas is actual texture, not implied texture, and there is a difference between the two because implied texture is the illusion of texture created through visual techniques, suggesting depth and dimension without physically altering the surface. But I have physically altered the surface and created quite an intriguing surface, I think. It looks kind of like burnt parchment. I love that. I think that's so cool. And now it'll be time to add my focal point, which in this case is Michelangelo's David. Now, here's an interesting thing about doing any kind of textured painting is that some people just create texture in an abstract way, and that's basically what their whole piece is about. It doesn't have any kind of representational art on it, which is totally cool. I love abstract art. It's just not really my style. I like to combine it with a little bit of representational art. And in this case, Michelangelo's David was the subject for this painting because all of my collage papers were actually the story of David and Goliath. And we won't go back to my high school years, but that story is impactful. Anyway, so for this, I actually loved the fact that I used fiber paste on the side of the canvas that I'm painting Michelangelo's David because the handmade paper texture of the fiber paste really lent itself well to doing an oil painting sketch. And it actually ended up looking really cool. It kind of brought to mind those old sketches by Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo, and yeah, it just really ended up looking very cool on this surface. Just that kind of handmade paper parchment surface, and then having all that kind of like burnt off in a completely different level with those collage papers and the crackle paste and everything. I don't know, it just kind of gave it that vintage feel or old world. Very, very, very cool. And using a lot of those transparent oils in order to sketch in the actual figure of David was pretty cool as well. But one thing I do want to say about the fiber paste is that you can do a pencil sketch on it, and that's what I did before I started painting with the oil paint. Is I was actually able to draw with pencil on top of the fiber paste, and even though it's a bumpy surface, it takes pencil really, really well. Oh, and by the way, you know, if you do want to see the full 3-part tutorial on how to do this step by step, head over to my Patreon, because over there you can not only listen to me do an impression of a wild turkey, but you can also watch tutorials and learn different techniques when it comes to texture and skin tones and all kinds of different things. So head over to Patreon if you want to see the full length tutorial on all of this texture and stuff like that. But as this painting is nearly finished, I will say this. So next time you're staring at your blank canvas, remember that texture is your friend. It adds depth, dimension, and a whole lot of personality that will have your audience pondering the meaning of life. Well, maybe not, but let your creativity run wild. And in the meantime, I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.